Hey there, folks. Buckle up, because we're diving into a seriously dark chapter of history, the chilling reign of Pol Pot. Pol Pot's rule over Cambodia for approximately 3 years and 8 months stands as one of history's darkest chapters, characterized by the tyrannical grip of the Khmer Rouge. This period saw the Cambodian population subjected to unspeakable horrors as families were torn apart, countless endured torture, and a staggering 1.7 million lives were lost. In exploring Pol Pot's life, we delve into the heart of this harrowing narrative, seeking to understand how such a tragic outcome came to pass. Well, we're not here for the faint-hearted. We're digging deep to understand how this unimaginable tragedy happened. Hold on to your hats, because we're zooming in on the darkest moments that'll make your skin crawl. This isn't just history, it's a lesson, a tribute, and a way to honor those who suffered. Stick around, because this tale isn't just shocking, it's a wake-up call to all of us. And believe me, you won't want to miss it. Early life and radicalization, the shocking metamorphosis from innocence to infamy. Get ready for the inside scoop on Pol Pot's wild ride, from his early days to becoming the big boss of Cambodia. We're spilling the tea on how he took power and unleashed his diabolical regime. First up, let's chat about Pol Pot's humble beginnings. Pol Pot starts as Salath Sar, born in a small Cambodian village. Yeah, he was a small-town kid working the rice fields and all that jazz. But hold up, here comes the twist. He scored a ticket to the big city, Phnom Penh. Talk about an upgrade, right? Now, here's where it gets really juicy. Thanks to those colonial rulers, Pol Pot's sipping on that French education. He's soaking up French literature and history like nobody's business. But guess what? The Frenchies unknowingly light a fire under him. He's thinking, if they can have a revolution, then why not us? So, he's chugging down ideas about overthrowing the system. Fast forward a bit, and our guy's all about communism. He joins the Communist Party like it's the latest trend. He's gobbling up ideas from Joseph Stalin, who's all about rapid industrialization and total control. But here's where things go kind of radical to full-on crazy. Pol Pot's like, yeah, armed rebellion sounds like a great idea. He's entirely on board with overthrowing French colonial rule, and he is not playing around. He's ready for a full-blown revolution, no holding back. And he's not just dipping in his toes, he dives headfirst into this chaotic world of revolution. The bold power seizure and dramatic unfold of the reign. Okay, so let's fast forward to the big moment, Pol Pot's takeover. He's part of the Khmer Rouge, a real take-no-prisoners crew. He's climbing that ladder, going from a regular member to the top dog in no time. Now, Pol Pot joins forces with the Khmer Rouge, this radical movement about overthrowing the government and setting up their own thing. He's not just a member, he's soon leading the pack. This dude has charisma and is not afraid to use it. Now, you won't believe how they pulled it off. The Khmer Rouge goes full-on stealth mode, infiltrating the Cambodian government. They're playing this dangerous game, approaching the enemy while plotting their grand takeover. Imagine spies, secret meetings, the whole spy movie vibe. And then, bang, they strike. The Khmer Rouge launches a lightning-fast assault, taking over the capital, Phnom Penh. It's like something out of a thriller. Chaos in the streets, power changing hands, and just like that, Pol Pot's in charge, ready to turn everything on its head. But guys, hold on to your hats, because here comes the craziest part. Pol Pot declares Year Zero. Yep, you heard that right. Everything before this moment erased. The past, the culture, even the calendar, gone. It's a fresh start, his way, and he's all about radical policies, like kicking city folks out and making everyone a peasant. Talk about turning lives upside down. The mass evacuation and brutal re-education spectacle. Now we're plunging into the heart of darkness. Pol Pot's reign of terror continues, and it's about to get even more twisted. Get ready to uncover the shocking truths of mass evacuations, stripped possessions, and the ruthless re-education game. Again, this part is not for the faint-hearted. So let's dive in. Pol Pot orders a mega evacuation of Phnom Penh, the capital city. People are forced out of their homes, hospitals, you name it. It's like a scene from a dystopian movie, except it's real life and it's absolutely chilling. But wait, there's more. Pol Pot's all about that strict equality. He's like, possessions? Nah, we don't need those. So anything that sets city folks apart is gone. It's like he's creating a bleak, uniform world where everyone's just a cog in his twisted machine. And speaking of twisted, brace yourselves for this. Re-education, Pol Pot style. Imagine confessing your innermost thoughts and feelings in front of a group. Yeah, it's basically like being in a cult that forces you to share your darkest secrets. And oh, the torture in prisons is beyond horrifying. But you know what's crazier? That's just the tip of the iceberg. Pol Pot's reign of terror is a rabbit hole of horrors, and we're digging deep to uncover every shocking detail. So hold on to your sanity, because we're about to journey further into the depths of his diabolical deeds. Get ready for more jaw-dropping revelations, because this tale is far from over. The grim saga of massacre and killing fields. Let's jump right into the heart of this dark history. We're delving into the eerie world of mass killings and the infamous killing fields during the Khmer Rouge era in Cambodia. Strap in, because this story is as bone-chilling as it gets. Now, imagine secret interrogation centers hiding in plain sight, like something out of a horror movie. One that stands out is the Tuol Sleng prison, also known as S21. This place was a former school turned into a house of nightmares. People were subjected to unspeakable torture and interrogation there, and the stories that emerged are enough to give you goosebumps. But here's the real twist. Pol Pot, the mastermind behind this reign of terror, he led the Khmer Rouge, a radical communist group that took control of Cambodia. And let me tell you, this guy don't mess around. They went after his own comrades in the Khmer Rouge in brutal purges. Now we're talking about a mind-boggling number of executions. Hundreds of thousands of people gone just like that. Now brace yourself for the killing fields. These were sites of mass executions and burials, where innocent people were systematically murdered. The scale of it all is mind-boggling. It's believed that around 1.7 million people, nearly a quarter of Cambodia's population, lost their lives due to the Khmer Rouge's reign of terror. It's hard to even wrap your head around those numbers. The annihilation of modern civilization and the chokehold on culture. The Khmer Rouge's horror show continues, my history buffs. We've talked about the blood-curdling mass killings and the bone-chilling killing fields, but guess what? That's not all they had up their sleeves. Brace yourselves for the destruction of modern civilization and the downright eerie suppression of culture. The world was buzzing with modern gadgets and technology, and the Khmer Rouge said, nah, we're good. They tossed modern advancements out the window like yesterday's leftovers. It's like they wanted to live in a time capsule while the rest of the world zoomed ahead. Talk about being stubborn to the core. But oh, it gets freakier. And here's where things take a real nosedive into the eerie zone. They weren't content with just controlling actions. Oh, no. They had their eyes on people's minds and feelings too. The Khmer Rouge wanted a uniform way of feeling and thinking, as if they were molding an army of emotionless robots. So while the mass killings were already sending shivers down our spines, the Khmer Rouge's demolition of modern civilization and their culture-crushing tactics are like something out of a dystopia. Imagine a world where progress is the enemy, fun is a forbidden word, and your innermost thoughts are invaded. It's a stark reminder of the lengths power-hungry minds can go to twist the very essence of humanity. The unsuccessful ballet of defense and retreat. This dark history rollercoaster has more twists than a mystery novel. We've walked through the bone-chilling horrors of the Khmer Rouge's reign, from mass killings to the eerie suppression of culture. Now get ready for their unraveling in the face of growing tension and their desperate attempts to hang on to power. The tension was simmering with neighboring Vietnam, and the Khmer Rouge wasn't precisely building a defensive fortress. It's like they were playing a high-stakes poker game with no cards up their sleeves. They ignored building up their defenses, which was basically an open invitation for trouble. But wait, it gets even crazier. Pol Pot, the mastermind behind all this chaos, decided to pull a risky move, the eastern border purge. It's like he thought stirring the pot would make his problems disappear. Well, guess what? It had consequences, and not the kind he'd hoped for. Instead of intimidating Vietnam, it brought them to a boiling point. And then it happened. Vietnam had had enough. They invaded Cambodia like a storm, and the Khmer Rouge's house of cards came crashing down. Imagine the sheer desperation as their carefully constructed reign turned to rubble. It was like the final chapter of a suspense novel, except this was real life. But the Khmer Rouge's downfall wasn't a heroic last stand. It was a mess of tension, failed strategy, and a major dose of karma. From their lack of a proper defense to their misguided purges, it all led to their ultimate undoing at the hands of Vietnam. It's a haunting reminder that even the most ruthless regimes can't outrun their mistakes forever. Drawing curtains, echoing aftermath, and the final fading days. Alright, time to wrap up the twisted tale of history with a glimpse into the aftermath and the final days of the Khmer Rouge saga. We've journeyed through mass killings, killing fields, and the downfall of this brutal regime, but the story doesn't end there. There's more to uncover. After Pol Pot's reign of terror, you'd think the Khmer Rouge would just fade into oblivion, right? Well, think again. Despite the chaos, some remnants of this nightmarish regime managed to persist. They were holding onto a dark legacy, refusing to let it slip away completely. Now here's a twist even the greatest storytellers couldn't make up. Pol Pot's escape and subsequent struggles. Pol Pot went into hiding after the Khmer Rouge fell from power, but his story didn't end there. He faced health issues. Talk about karma catching up. He was diagnosed with cancer and even experienced paralysis, a far cry from the powerful figure he once was. And then, the curtains drew to a close on this dark chapter with a final act that reeked of poetic justice. Pol Pot was arrested and a show trial was staged, laying bare the horrors of his regime. The world finally had a chance to hold him accountable for the unspeakable atrocities. He was put under house arrest, a shadow of his former self, as if the universe wanted to make sure he felt the weight of his actions. And that's how this twisted tale concludes. The Khmer Rouge's legacy lingered, Pol Pot faced his own brand of punishment, and the world was left to grapple with the aftermath of their reign. Well, there you have it. As we reflect on the diabolical life of Pol Pot, we encourage you, our viewers, to share your own thoughts and opinions on his reign in the comment section below. Thank you for watching Unthinkable Past. Goodbye.